Hello. I want to talk to you today about something I think is so important. I think I have made a difference in my life by thinking about being better. And I know I've made a video a few weeks back about being the best, and so I wanted to kind of chime in on that particular aspect of our own lives about being the best. And I think that being the best is so important because it's not about being better than someone else. It's not. It's not about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you were or getting back to being the excellent person that you were before. It's like if you were an athlete. Think about these athletes, for example, people who hurt themselves and they become, like disabled, and they have to learn how to walk again and how to run again, how to move again. And then after a certain amount of time, they're back 100%. They're back to being world class. Now, a person who is a world class athlete is a rarity. But someone who goes from being a world class athlete to going back is amazing because not only did they get better, they got back to world class because it was in their mind. It was an ability that they had, and they just got back to it. So, like I speak to prisoners every Tuesday, and I have a class, and I tell them about certain aspects of just humanity, of how we as humans relate to each other. And I'm not trying to judge them. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I'm just saying that all of us have an ability to do better. And the reason that they're in jail because they broke a law and they had to pay the price. And so I try to really convey to them that we all break laws all the time and that we have to pay the price. But it doesn't mean that we're bad people. It's like if you go before the judge because you ran a red light, you would go to the judge and you would say, well, Your Honor, I was in a hurry, or it was an emergency, or I didn't see the sign, or whatever the case may be. You try to let the judge know that you're not a bad person and this was not something that you always do, and that you need to be understood and forgiven and allowed to move on with your life. Well, it's the same thing when you're in prison. When a person does their time, they should be allowed to move on with their life. And also, I teach children. I have classes I give on Saturdays at Learning Center, and I'm doing leadership skills. And I'm also doing what I call my Life Academy, which is including math skills and language skills, health and wellness, and just trying to be a better person. Because in society we live in, people are often just, confronted with people who are just not trained properly in how to relate to people. Because I think one of the main reasons, I remember during one of the last mass shootings, unfortunately things happen way too often, Trump mentioned that it was because of video games that people were doing these shootings. And well, that's not been proven. But one thing that we do see a lot of is violence in TV. You watch a TV show and the two people are talking to each other, and all of a sudden a punch flies out, or a word is said that's really rude, and they use a lot of profanity. Or also they might shoot somebody, a gun just comes out and boom, and they kill somebody. And it becomes something that we see all the time, and we think that's how people really react to each other. It's like a person who watches a kung fu movie thinks that that's how people really fight. A real fight doesn't look like that. People who watch pornography think that's how people really relate to each other on a physical level. That's not really how those things work. But we watch so much TV, we think that that's how society is. Even though we're friends, you're my brother, we're coworkers, or colleagues, whatever it is, I want something that you got. You said something I didn't like. Gun comes out, knife comes out, boom, and there's death. Now, it's not the way the world should be. But fortunately, life imitates art. And so people are bombarded with images, and the ideas are now presented as an option. So if I get mad at somebody, yeah, I saw on TV 1,000 times someone got mad at somebody and they punched them, or they called them a name, or they stabbed them, they shot them, they blew up their house, whatever. And so I'm trying to look at life differently in saying that we all have the ability and the right to be leaders in our own life. I use that word leader because it's not about religion. It's like if you were born and your father was a leader, he would want you to be a leader as well. If you were born and your father was a king, he would want you to be a king as well. If your father was a business owner, then you should become a business owner. And let me just use this example because I want to take away the religious side and just make it something you can understand. If my father was the owner of a very successful business, multi-million-dollar business, and I was his son, and he wanted me to follow in his footsteps, then I would have to know one thing, that I was born to be the next leader. Okay? He didn't just pick somebody. I was born to be that. So it's my birthright to be included in that greatness. Also, he would teach me. I couldn't just take over to be a leader. He had to teach me how to be a leader. He's a leader. Want me to become leader once he retires, then he teaches me how to do it. And only he teaches me how to do it. And if he has someone else teach me, he taught that person. So the teaching comes from the main source. Okay? And then also I realized that if I'm going to run the company the way it's supposed to be run, if it's successful, then I do what my father, the leader, showed me. So when I take over, I don't use my words, I use his words. I use his ways, I use his techniques. And I have the same results. And if I have a child, someone who wants to take over, they come from that same lineage. Okay? The person's born and they're taught, and they only follow the ways of success. It's like with McDonald's, for example. They have one way. A franchise is supposed to follow the same path as the one who came before it, not to go off to another way. And so, if I'm born to be a leader, then I have to understand that I'm born this way. And if my father is the one who gave life to me, and he wants me to do what he has been successfully doing, then I have to learn from my father. I have to speak my father's words and do my father's ways. You see what I'm saying here? So it's not about religion, it's about doing the right thing, following the successful pattern that has been laid down by someone who you look up to as a father, as a leader, as an example. And so that's what life is all about. If you tell a child, do as I say, but not as I do, or you don't give a good example, you don't give a good environment, then the child has, its only recourse is to try to find someone to feel a void that you don't feel. And that person might not give that person what they need. It might give that person what they want, not what they need. And so when we get together, either the prisoners or the students, the first thing I let them know is that they are born to be leaders. And that no matter what they've done, no matter what has happened before, their true nature is leadership is being a king, an owner, someone who has pride in what they've been given. So if you're a student, you should understand that there are ways to study, there are ways to get good grades, but your responsibility to not just to be a good student, but to build yourself towards your career coming up when you are in your 20s. If you were going to just go to school with the only goal was just to get pass a test, to get out of class so you can get over with, you're not going to have any success. There's a reason for what you're going to be doing. Give yourself over to study and homework and rest and review. So important. Someone getting out of prison, they have to understand that there's such a thing as people getting out, going back. It's called recidivism. I said that right. They go back. People get out and then they go right back. You don't want that. You don't want to be someone who failed to see that freedom is so much more important. And so, it's a responsibility. And every time I go there, whether I have a small class or a large class, I give them my all because it means a lot. And so I always, end my class by telling the students what class I'm in that they have the right to be the best. They have the right to be owners and kings and captains of their own ship. And if they just continue to walk in that and respect that awesome responsibility, then they're going to be able to do it. They're going to be able to succeed. And so it's never about being negative. It's just one option that we have is success. We don't give the option of failure. Failure can't be there. People fail. But we don't talk about that. We say you're here, you're going to learn, and you're going to grow, and you're going to move on in a betterment of life. Like when someone goes to the gas station and their tank is empty. If they just fill the tank up, they can drive. But you've got to, put in the right grade. You got to pay for it. You got to pump that tank, and then you've got to drive knowing that what's in your tank will keep you going until you have to start over again. Okay. In this case, it might mean the rest of your life. You fill up and you go on, or it might just mean for the rest of the week, for that day. We need to continue to go to the source to fill our tanks to make it better, because these days are not evil, but the days are difficult because of all the things that are around us which take our attention. Looking here, looking there. We got to keep ourselves on straight and narrow, knowing that we have a goal, and that goal will keep us strong. So it's important. So anything you're doing out there, if you're trying to better your life or to reclaim what you had before, maybe your health or relationship or a skill, whatever it is, know that you can do it. Just continue to follow the procedures and knowing that you have it in you, you'll be able to reclaim it. If I lose something, I'm looking to get it back. I already had it. No, I'm going to get it back. And now once I have it, I'm back to my normal state. And that's where I want to be. I want to be healthy. I want to be intelligent. I want to be useful to the world, not just for myself, but for the world, because that's what we're here for. I mean, if you think of a tree that has, fruit, the fruit is not for itself. It's for others to enjoy, to partake in. What the tree must have is nurture, nutrition, pruning the leaves, which means that you don't want new leaves to grow on old branches. Sometimes you gotta get rid of things that don't help you. You want your foundation or the roots to be taken care of, because the roots are what are not seen, but they're the most important part of the tree. So it's the study, it's the nutrition, it's the rest, the foundation. So there it is. So have a great day and continue to watch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, share, like, and comment, and watch again. This is John from Life Academy saying thank you. And don't forget, you're the best. So be the best. Take care.